Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Asma Siddiqui. I am a voracious book reader, and today we're talking about this book called The Innocent Pen by John Grisham. It is one of his first ever nonfiction, and because I'm not really a big fan of nonfiction, I usually opt not to read them. But this book is written in the usual John Grisham style, so it was almost impossible to detect that this was a nonfiction. And a little later on, particularly when I reached the point where I could see real pictures of people, I figured that this is a true story. So the story is about two men who were wrongly convicted and sentenced to death for a murder that they did not commit, and you get to figure out how those people coped up with it, those two men and their families, and how it affected everyone and their mental health, because they've been wrongly convicted of something that they've not done, and they're sentenced and they're incarcerated for such a long time. So that is trauma in itself. It highlights all the points where you kind of figure out that the U.S. justice system is not all that great either. And you can see all the flaws in it, and you can see how easy it is to manipulate witnesses and get things going your way if you really want it. Also, I believe it's mainly the police were just lazy, and they did not make an effort in actually finding the culprits. They just found these two men as very easy targets, although there was a lot of data missing. And it was just that these two people were, they looked like criminals, and people just pointed fingers at them, so it was easy to just assume. So a lot of this book kind of made me think of how difficult it is for the families, and for them to get justice after so long, for being behind bars and missing this whole big chunk of life where they could have been free men, but they were not. It must have been really difficult, not just for them, their families as well. And I did think of what it would have felt like when they got out of jail. So it's just, a book that kind of makes you think a little about the people who were convicted wrongly. So I would suggest that you read it. If you are into nonfiction, you're going to enjoy the book. If you are a fan of John Grisham, definitely read the book. There is no mystery. I have let out almost everything. I've explained the whole thing to you, but it's a heartwarming story where you think about what is happening, and you think of how wrong a system can be, something that you really really believe in, and you believe that it is there to protect you, and that system itself is harming you. So it just, you need to think about that a little. But I enjoyed myself. I actually just really like John Grisham. Some of his books are kind of boring, but most of his books are really good. So I would always read to John Grisham, and I would never think about not reading one of his books ever. I would just read his books. So go ahead, give it a read. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. I will come back and tell you next week of the other book that I've begun reading. And tomorrow we'll talk about what bite the book has recommended me, and if there was actually a bite or not. But that will happen tomorrow. So you subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you are notified when I come up with the reviews following this book, and also what the book has recommended me to eat, which is going to be tomorrow. So I will see you around.